Astro here. We are doing another video publication today. We're actually going to be on the topic of TOI 5747b and the continued investigation on the exoplanet itself. So I am going to be joined today by Tom Traub, who is a amateur astronomer. He also does a lot of work with solar eclipses, and he also does a lot of planetary work. He also co-owns the Martz Kohl Observatory, which houses a lot of scopes. The first one is a 24-inch observatory, as well as sitting on top of the scope is a 16-inch, which is ironically used as a guiding camera for the 24-inch. The light power gathering for the 24-inch compared to a next star 4SE Celestron is about 6 times that much more light, which means it has a whopping 7,787 millimeters of focal length, which is truly impressive for an amateur telescope. And also, not only can this telescope be used to search for exoplanets and all that stuff, it can also be used for astrophotography, and I think that's really impressive what these guys are trying to do. So tonight we are actually going to be doing an imaging session on TOI 5747b, which will also help in the investigation because we want to gather more data on this object because it's only been followed up a few times. We need more data on it to confirm the presence of a planet being there. While we were waiting out the clouds, it took a couple hours before we caught a break, before we started science operations with the 24-inch Martz Kohl Observatory. I honestly want to thank Tom Traub for an amazing night here at the Martz Kohl Observatory, as they provided us huge insight as to the scope operations and everything that they do. And it was honestly amazing watching the clouds come over the observatory in time lapse, as well as getting a chance to see first light. Here you can see the dome about ready to get to open after the last pass of haze comes through, and it wasn't until around this time that we were able to get the door of the dome open and then the shutters open for the camera. It was around this time we were testing the systems, making sure everything was good to go before we started our baseline observation. Typically, we want at least an hour and 2 hours of baseline observation for an exoplanet to confirm uncertainties. Here, we were getting a chance to do operations between 10:30 and with ingress being at 11:02 and mid-transit point being at around 11:29 p.m. and then finally egress at around 11:54 p.m. Basically, these are just fancy terms to say the start, middle, and the end of a planet coming into view. That's all basically what ingress, mid-transit point, and egress means. At this time, the clouds started coming in and the sun started rising up, and I knew it was time for me to get to bed. So we just got done with the observation round for TOI 5747b, because it is like a nearing 4 in the morning. We've been on the scope since 9:10 in the evening, and we just got done with a massive science operation. So yeah, we're gonna get some sleep, and we'll get to you in the morning and process the data and see what pops up and showcase if the exoplanet is there. I think it'll be very interesting to see how the 1 meter versus the 24-inch will compare, because the 24-inch is basically just 24-inch telescope and the 1 meter is a 39-inch telescope. So I think the two aperture sizes may very well provide some useful data for both observatories to see what we can use to compare and what the best telescope choice would be to see this exoplanet. Here in this graph showcases the transit coverage of TOI 5747 in the simulation. The graph on the right showcases the actual transit curve that was produced, as well as where the planet would be crossing in front of the ecliptic plane from our point of view. Here is the planet entering mid-transit point, as well as exiting the stellar disk, as well as crossing out of our view into the egress phase. This is just a plot showing the ingress entering stellar disk, mid-transit point exiting the stellar disk, as well as the egress phase from the data that was gathered from the transit curve. Here is showcasing the actual data that was used to generate that simulation of TOI 5747b, which I think is really cool. Okay, so we just got our data. We're about to perform our analysis here. I'm actually really nervous about this because oh jeez, we took this the day after We're honestly not entirely sure what to expect out of this run. And let's hope for good results. So, I'm starting the analysis right now. We are just plotting our chart now. And I think something just happened. What's going on here? This is the fun that I hate about science operations is when files don't go right. We are doing it now. Again, we figured out what was going on, so we hope we just corrected it. It's performing the fit. We just took it yesterday. Oh, I see a dip. I see a dip. Oh my god, it's there. Oh my god.
And just like that, the newly confirmed exoplanet, aka TOI 5747, now Wolf 327b, showcased on Monday the 22nd. Here you can see better results than from November 19th, 2022, which just comes to show how much more we can get at predicting ephemeris updates for exoplanet candidates.
Oh my god. Guys. It's actually there. For 2 fucking years. Unbelievable. So you can see the start of the baseline observation. So basically what this is a fancy term of saying that it's just the start of the run that we were doing. You can see the ingress phase. Ingress was actually right there. So that was the start of when the planet was starting to come into view. And then it hit the stellar disk at that time frame. And then it transited to the midpoint, which is where it crosses in, like in the middle of the host star, you know, where its shadow is, rough in relative perspective to us. And then it went into egress, or the start of the egress, where it exits the stellar disk. And then you got these 2 points here, which go back up into normal brightness, with the meridian flip actually occurring at around the time of egress, which kind of is interesting. So, I think we spotted it. I am looking forward to presenting my findings to the Martz Kohl Observatory. Oh my god. Unbelievable. So yeah, it's been found after 2.5 years of searching for the damn thing. Holy shit.